It is a scam when you don't allow everyone to operate on fair terms.
We are the Robin Hoods of sports betting. We take something back from the rich bookies and enable our customers to beat them instead.
G'day everyone, Alex here. Just doing a quick update on my results with Trademate and also go through a bit of Trademate news, what's been happening, some discounts I can give you guys towards the end to start you off with Trademate. Bit of a Black Friday sale, which ends in about 24 hours. So I'll give you some discounts towards the end and get you started with Trademate. And I can go through kind of some of the overall results of Trademate lately. And yeah, I mean, I've just recently moved to Australia in the last month or so. So for any Australians out there, I can go through what's been working for me or what I think is a pretty optimal setup using Trademate from Australia, and I guess just betting from Australia in general. So I'll kick things off, go through my my latest results. If you guys have any questions at all, just send them through on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Doesn't matter. And I will eventually get to them. Yeah. So let me just highlight my screen here. So here are my results. They've been pretty shit, which is I think it's really good. I really think it's been a long time since I've showed you guys, a time where it hasn't been working out, or yeah, I don't know. I think we're always happy to show our good and bad results, and we get customers all the time asking, why am I losing, blah blah blah. So I think today is just a good opportunity for me to get on and explain what's been going on, and yeah, show that you can 100% you can lose with this software. That it's all just about getting in maximum amount of trades. So obviously overall I'm not losing with Trademate. What happened is about a month ago, I reset my Trademate account. It was just getting very, very, very messy with bookmakers, withdrawals and deposits and all that kind of stuff, and I seriously lost track of how much money I actually had in my betting accounts, and just everything was a bloody big mess. So I thought, all right, I'm just going to restart my Trademate account, have all my balances reset. So a lot of my balances at the moment with all my bookmakers are filled with profits from past. So yeah, reset my Trademate account. I'm only about 567 trades in, as you can see here. Decent average closing edge. Lots of EV racked up, and I started with a much bigger bankroll this time too. So 10,000 Australian dollars, which is 10,000 Australian dollars, which is, so the reason it doesn't say 10,000 here is because I've got a lot in play at the moment, or a bit in play, and also I've lost some money, $529. So 10,000 Australian dollars, probably something like 7,500 euros, something like that, pounds, something around that mark. So yeah, let me just see if there's any questions coming. Oh, you can't see the page. That's very strange. Okay. Let me see if I can fix this for you guys. All right, I assume you can see my ugly face now. It always does this. Let's try this. Okay, guys, let me know if you can see my screen now. Hopefully you can see it. Let me know if you can see it now. Just wait for someone to comment, please. It says I'm sharing. Yep. All right, good news. So as I was saying, yeah, reset my account. And yeah, so these are my results only after 567 trades, which, as we say at Trademate, is just not a good sample size at all. It needs to be a lot bigger. And that's all really I can say. Like, just variance and the law of large numbers plays such a big impact on those first 1,000, 2,000 trades. So once you're over that 2,000 trade mark, I think is when you can start expecting, I guess, to see profits, or at least to see, like, better results. And before that, you can't expect. There's just way too much randomness and variance in sports betting for you to be saying after 560 trades that this software is useless, kind of thing. So yeah, and that's with any kind of betting. Really, you need to. You can't really judge it unless you just consistently. You've got absolutely no edge at all. You shouldn't really start judging it until after a couple of thousand trades. So yeah, as I was kind of saying before, started with a much bigger bankroll this time. I guess for those who were back in the day when I did my 1K to 2K US dollars challenge, I started with obviously $1,000. It's a very, very low sum for people to start with. You have to work very, very hard to be able to rack up enough profit to not only cover the subscription cost, but also to make it worth your while, like, make enough profits so that it's worth your time to do. So yeah, started with probably around how much euros would that be? Yeah, 7,000 euros, something like that. And yeah, hopefully this time we'll be able to see some quicker progress once I can get over this hump. But I mean, it might take a bit of time because, unlike probably a lot of Trademate users, I don't spend as much time betting because I've obviously got a full-time job, so I don't really have the time. I mean, I spend a lot of the time on the weekends betting, but yeah, I just don't. And I obviously just trade recommended leagues too. I don't really see the point in myself doing lower leagues, so that's the reason why I don't get that many trades in. So yeah, they're my results. I'm trying to think what else I can go through to show you guys. In here, I mean, you can have a look at this hit rate. This is always quite a cool graph to look at. And it looks like I'm kind of getting hammered by the lower odd ranges at the moment. I'm not... So here it says I should be hitting this odd range about 80% of the time, but I'm only hitting it 70% of the time. Should be hitting the 1.5 odds range by 66.7% of the time, but I'm hitting it 58% of the time. 57% of the time I should be hitting the 1.75 odds range, but I'm hitting it 51. Overperforming here on the 2 odds range, and then underperforming here again. So as you can see, I'm only really doing really well at the odds range of like 3 and at 2s in odds. So it's always quite interesting to look at. Yeah, and Daniel Game Chilling, you just said your average time. I'll put that comment up for everyone. Daniel just said, interesting to see you have an average time of 9 hours. So this is one of the things I wanted to go through, is because in Australia, it's obviously not the most ideal place to use Trademate from. As Trademate users know, I'd say about 60% of the trades come from European football every day, so, or mostly on the weekends. So the problem there is that mostly what we tell people is to bet on games 0 to 8 hours before kickoff. If I do that in Australia, I'm going to be up till, all sorts of hours, midnight into the early hours, trying to find trades on football. So I don't really want to live a lifestyle that way. So one of the things I wanted to see when I moved to Australia was, can I trade a lot earlier and still, not lose out on this average closing edge. and rack up lots of closing EV. And I found a few presets that have worked for users. So I hadn't done this before, and maybe it's something even European people, you guys can do, is have a look at, just do a quick search in the big data tool, and you never know what you can find. So what I searched was, what about if I'm betting 12 hours to 18 hours before kickoff? And I think I put in a minimum edge of 3. So that gives me a pretty decent buffer, so that, if I bet on an edge of 3% and everything moves out of my favor, then at least, 3%, I've got a pretty decent buffer there. Be a night grinder, says BBVREG, mate. Sorry, I'm a morning man. It's bloody 4:40 in the morning here, as you can probably tell. I'm a morning man. So yeah, I'll plug this. Let's go back to Daniel's question here. I'll just go back to this simulation here. So as you can see, we've got a sample size here of 9,500 trades. That's very, very good. 15 hours before kickoff, and we're getting an average closing edge of 4.2%. with a flat ROI of 6.2%. So this is both flat. So that's bloody decent. I mean, my average closing edge is 2.8 at the moment. Imagine if I could get 4.2. So, yeah, it's definitely something I'm happy to do, looking at this data. And then, so that's one of the presets I've put in for my trading. So it looks exactly like this. So 1 to 4 in odds, edges 3 to 100. And 12 to 18. I also did another preset to fill in that gap from 8 hours to 12. Let's see what that comes up. But I think I lessen the edge here to like 2.5. I mean, this is the great thing about the big data tool, isn't it? That you can just, you're unsure of any presets or anything like that, you can just come in here, plug it in, happy days. See what's up, see what works. All right, Daniel, let's have a look, mate. I mean, it's even better in terms of ROI, pretty similar average closing edge. And yeah, obviously a good sample size here. And this would be the last 10,000 trades that people have placed on that odds range. So, I mean, looking at this, it seems like it shouldn't just be something, Australians or, I mean, maybe even Americans, because they're in a completely different time zone too, that we should just be doing it. I mean, maybe it's something that overall Trademate users can do. You've just got to be aware that sometimes you will get some big swings out of your favor. And I guess it just allows you to trade at hours that you like to. I mean, if you've got presets set up to trade from 0 to 18 hours, I mean, you can log on basically any time throughout the day and trade. So it just makes everything a lot more flexible. What I should do is actually just check out what's 18 to 24 hours like. And why don't we we'll set this at like 3.5 or something. Why don't we just set it at 3 and see what that comes up with. And remember, this is all in recommended leagues. So I'll have a look. Yeah, I mean, the average closing edge goes down a little bit. Profits go down a little bit. The sample size isn't as good either. I mean, 9,000 is still pretty good. It seems like most people don't trade at this kind of time range. But still, I mean, you'd probably take that, eh? you'd probably have a crack 18 to 24 hours before the game. Maybe you just set that minimum edge a bit bigger. Maybe we can go up to like 3.5 and see what that does. And I mean, oh, I think I just stopped sharing. Possibly. Can you hide? Let me just make sure I'm still sharing. Yeah, so I'll just see what this looks like. But I just think, yeah, maybe it's just an option for lots of people who don't want to have to be too worried about what time they trade. They can kind of just go on and always be able to trade. Yeah, so the average closing edge has gone up there. I think pretty sure the total profit's gone up too. I mean, this looks like definitely a strategy where you should give it a crack. Trade a bit earlier. I know, talking to Neil last week, Neil Shai's done Pro Sports Better lots of videos with us. He's he's done lots of trading, like 24 hours before. So I think, yeah, it's definitely a viable strategy for people to give a go. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's kind of how I've been going. That's how my presets. Yeah, I've only been doing football, to answer your question, Daniel. Only football, mate. On those presets, I haven't tried any other sports yet. Okay, next, what can I go through? Keep sending through your questions, and yeah, if you can, guys, give the stream a like so we can push this out to as many people as possible and show off our nice little discounts towards the end. Okay, October. Yeah, so lately the first time this month we wrote an article about our results in October. I don't know why we haven't really done this before. I think it was more so just because we have the live stats on our website. It kind of shows everything off. We don't really need to do this, but I think it's good for people to see like a breakdown of each sport, I guess, and see where we go. And it's also like a month is a very short amount of time compared to what we've done in the last couple of years. So, but anyway, and this is kind of the data that came back. So I'm just going to remove your comment, Daniel. Just getting used to the streaming software. All right, now it looks a bit better. Okay, so yeah, these were the results from October, and I'll do another article for November. But as you can see, in October we got so many trades in for soccer, both on non-recommended, recommended, and non-recommended here. Huge, pretty big ROIs, I would say. 5.01% on recommended leagues on football and 3.79% on non-recommended leagues for football or soccer. So yeah, I mean, looking at the results, the sports that I just wouldn't really take much away from, like your rugbies and your rugby leagues, they're just way too small of a sample size. Baseball, I'd say the same for. The other ones, I mean, maybe tennis in recommended leagues, you wouldn't really read much into. Interesting though, because those tennis results would just be from the French Open. So we did really well at the French Open, an 18.33% ROI. So that's quite huge. So yeah, but then if you look at non-recommended leagues for tennis, it's very, very interesting. An actual ROI of 0.7% over 7,500 trades. So it's just something we've always struggled with, tennis. It's not the most efficient market, I've been told. by various people on the podcast and interviews and stuff like that. So tennis is one of those ones. If you're going to bet tennis, I'd be taking a pretty decent minimum edge because it's not a very efficient market. You can see big swings. I mean, there's always talk of like lesser tournaments too, people not trying their hardest. So, you know, like a player like a Roger Federer or Nadal, I mean, I don't know how much these players play in like these smaller tournaments nowadays, but you assume they don't take it as seriously as a French Open, Wimbledon kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, these are the results. Basketball looks good. Yeah, I guess the good thing about this compared to like any kind of tipster or whatever other service you can think of, it's just the sample size is like there's absolutely no way that any other service, I would just about say in the world, I've never seen anything like this that can produce. I mean, how many trades did we get in October? We placed 1,600 and 163,000 trades. Like that is absolutely ridiculous. Nearly 11 million euros was turned over. I mean, it's huge. I know a lot of it will be the same, like customers placing the same trades and stuff like that. But even if you half all this data, it's just ridiculous. So I think if you're looking for the most like trustworthy, like defined results, if that even makes sense, like where you almost like can guarantee over a long sample size of trades that you're going to do well with the software or with a betting tipster or whatever. This is just like really the only thing that you can go by. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope maybe, one day we'll have some more like regular results we can pump out, like weekly results. If you guys would be interested, let us know. Daniel, you've said American football is going very well considering how tight the lines are. Yeah, no, going very well. I mean, I think non-recommended American football is college football. So yeah, that's going very well. And even better is the NFL. So I'm pretty sure that the only recommended league we have for American football is NFL. But interestingly, actually that might be a better way to view it. The flat ROI for American football, NFL basically, is not good, which means one might say that we don't really have an edge. 3,500 trades, pretty decent, not perfect. But one might say we don't have an edge, and that is just our staking system that's helping us out. So basically we're staking big when we've found a winner, and we're staking less when there's a loser. So there's been a little bit of luck involved there. So maybe we're actually not going that great with American football. Could be something to look into overall. So good that you brought that up, Daniel, because I'm sure it's something I talked about down here. Yeah, so we'll track the flat ROI in the coming months for recommended leagues, because that's something we should definitely take a look at. And something we should definitely keep track of. What about, so non-recommended leagues kind of tells a similar picture, except the flat ROI is well into the positive. So, I mean, something we can keep a look at for American football, definitely. Got a question here from Donnie Brasco. He says, I'm from Asia. Can I open an account on Aussie bookies? I will go on holiday there. Oh, probably doubt it, mate. I think you'd have to be a resident here. You probably have to have an address here. So I don't think you can I mean, that's like anywhere in the world. You can't just travel and open up bookmaker accounts with people unless you have some kind of proof that you live there. So, I mean, maybe if you had a friend there who's not interested in betting or something like that, you could steal his or her account and go from there, but not steal, but ask to use their account. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you can open an account. You just wouldn't be able to verify yourself. That's the problem. And so if you win money, they're not going to give you that money until you're completely verified. So a good question, but that kind of that goes for anyone all over the world. What else did I want to go through today? Oh. I guess I can go through some of the Trademate news and discounts and stuff like that. I'll just... yeah, that'll be fun. I mean, BBV REG, we did the customer competition. Sorry, he says there should be a leaderboard on TM with the high performer per month for motivation. Yeah, I mean, this something we could implement. And yeah, we did do a customer competition about 4 or 5 months ago. It was about mid-year in July or June or something. I think that's what we did. So we kind of went through a month of trading. We had 10 customers or something, and we ranked all their performances. I can go through it now if you guys... let me see if I can come customer competition. Let me see if I can find it. God, I can't spell. Yeah, here it is here. So we did after 7 days, we tracked their results, 14 days, 20 days, and then after 30 days, so a month. And here were the results. I'll get this photo up for you. So the winner was Monteo. We've judged it on average closing edge because people just have different bankrolls, etc. And Monteo had an average closing edge of 5.9%. And he placed 800 trades in the month. Shanxi was another beast, got in 1,900 trades. So yeah, this is a fun competition we did back in July. So, maybe we should run it again. But yeah, I mean, that kind of segues onto my next point is that, yeah, we've been trying to work on lately a lot of, I've been working on lots of, or at least starting to work on lots of new features in Trademate and stuff like that. One of the new ones that we just implemented was the export feature. So I'm just gonna, I don't really want to show this. You just give me one sec. I just want to export. So, I'll just show you. So you go into My Trades here, and there's an export feature here. And you can export all of your trades you've placed. So that's just gone straight to a CSV. And this is what it looks like. So this is just exported all my trades that I placed so far, so all 550 of them. And yeah, it goes through like the results of each game, the edge, the closing edge you got, the odds, currencies, everything. Like basically exports everything. Bookmakers, odds type, time placed, etc., etc. So no, it's really, really, really cool stuff. The only thing is you need to be an analytics customer to be able to use that. Or you need to be subscribed to the analytics package. Now there's two ways. You can you can get the analytics package. One is when you first start with Trademate. I think it's if you complete 500 trades in the first month or 100 trades in your 3-week trial, and then you subscribe, then you get a free use of the analytics package for 1 month. The other way you can get it is if you pay for it. It is quite expensive. It's €80 a month, but we have a discount for you. It's Black Friday. Give you a nice little discount. So if you want to do the Trademate, the 50% off the analytics package, head in to our customer support and just message bottom right hand corner. As you can see on here, you can see my little chat box here. Just message in there that you want the 50% off discount off the analytics package, and we'll sort that out for you. You've got until tomorrow to do that, so another 24 hours to get that done, and we'll sort that out for you. So that's discount number 1 for you guys today. Analytics tool, you get to look at all these kind of results. You get to look at big data tools. So do what I was doing before. You go in, you say, how do we go on, soccer, on Asian handicaps, edges 1 to 2%, odds range of 2 to 3. Oh, not. You know what I mean? You can just plug in whatever you want. And hours before the game, recommended or non-recommended leagues, these kind of things, filter that through, and you might be able to just find something that you think's, that's been quite profitable for Trademate users or whatever. So that's the good thing about the big data tool. And yeah, so that's one thing you could do. Donnie Brasco says, I think Airbnb plus bank like Monzo would work out. I mean, it's just one of those things. You might as well try it. I mean, you got nothing to lose. I just wouldn't deposit a cent into that account until it's fully verified, because you don't want to be in the case where you make thousands of dollars and then, you go to withdraw it and they say, no, we don't accept Monzo statements, or we don't, whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, you can give it a go, but I wouldn't deposit anything in until you've done that. Yeah, so that's the big data tool. That's the analytics package. So I'll just flash that discount up on the screen for everyone now. You can get 50% of the analytics package right now. Just head into our little box over here and say that you want that. We do have another discount for you all. Probably what you're all interested in. We're actually doing, I should probably fix this one up a little bit. So this is quarterly discounts. I'll just change this up a bit. So the core, here it is. All right, that probably looks a bit better. So you can get Trademate Core and Pro quarterly at a nice little discount at the moment for the next 24 hours too. Black Friday, little Black Friday sale for you all. So you can get Core, which is normally, I mean, for a month of Trademate, it's €120. So if you add that all together, that would be €360. But you can get it for €269, which is pretty bloody good. And the good thing is that from November 30, that takes you all the way through to February 30. Like, there is seriously no better time to be trading than through that period. It is so busy. The soccer schedule is just mayhem at the moment. So if I was you guys and you've just started, or you're only a couple months in and, you've got plenty of accounts to get through with Trademate, I'd be locking that in for 3 months, and you'll you'll be saving a decent chunk of money. And it kind of locks you in, I think, which is good because this is a bloody good time to be trading. And it gives you the view of it's not a month-to-month thing. It's kind of a long-term investment, which is what value betting is. You shouldn't really be judging value betting off, your first month, first couple of weeks. This is a maybe a 6-month commitment, or maybe a little bit less than that. Like the more trades you get in, the better, better profitability you'll have. So you should be thinking this is a long-term investment, and I think there's no better way to make you do that than to lock in for a quarter and save some money. So, go over to that little box over here if you're keen on those discounts. Just say, whatever, I want the Trademate core discount for the quarter for €269, and we'll sort that out for you. But you got to do it in the next 24 hours. Because after that, it'll just go back to normal prices. Here's my man, Dark Zach. He says, Gunner time. It sure is, mate. We've got 8 minutes until kickoff. Probably be another sour affair for us Gunners fans. And I'm definitely going to head off and watch that. So if you guys have got any last-minute questions before I go and watch the great Arsenal play like shit, then head over to the comment section and send over some questions. Some other new stuff we've got coming through. There is lots of stuff. I just don't want to tell you guys yet because it might be a couple of months and then you'll get pissed off if it takes a long time. So I won't tell you just yet, but let me just say there's lots of cool new stuff coming to Trademate in the next, 3-4 months. What was the other thing? I'd love to know if you guys have been listening to the podcast much, what you guys think. What aspects you've been enjoying. We'll keep having guests on all the time, maybe not as regular as we used to. It's just, quite hard to organise, finding new guests and stuff like that. But the weekly previews with George, I hope you guys have been liking that. Every Thursday night we've been doing that with George and getting. Let me know if you guys have been enjoying the UFC MMA stuff because it's bloody sharp. What Ryan's been coming up with when we had Haru on. I would say 80% of the time, whatever those guys say, they'll be beating the closing line. So, I think we'll be getting Jonas back on soon, hopefully, a bit more often. He loves his MMA, so that'll be fun. Talk a bit more MMA. I think let me know if you've been enjoying that kind of stuff and if there's anything else you want us to talk about, any other sport that you want us to cover or anything like that. BBV Reg says TM community growing. Yeah, it's definitely at the moment. I'm pretty sure this is the most customers we've ever had. So we're getting bigger, mate. Getting bigger, which is good. Daniel says, sorry, mate, you bet on Wolves. I don't blame you, mate. I'd just be going the unders. I just can't see more than 2 goals being scored. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 0-0 or 1-0. It's just, they're a pretty dire outfit to watch at the moment, Arsenal. Donny Brasco says, so how much net profit have you made so far? Oh, it's a tough question. Be a bit of an estimate. How much money have I made from betting? Something around 10,000 euros, maybe less. I don't know. That would be my guess. It's so hard to know. I've only really in the last month really honed down on tracking all my results. So, or maybe the last like 2 months or so. So obviously Trademate does all those results for you. But I'm just including all my betting together. So yeah, something like that. I would say maybe a little bit less than that, maybe closer to 8, 9, something like that. So yeah. The problem is with Trademate, I started with a really low bankroll when I first started. Started with 1,000 US dollars. So that was that really made everything a lot slower. So if you are going to start Trademate, I would recommend starting with, you know, something closer to 5,000 US dollars, 5,000 euros. But I mean, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. If you've got the money to spend, I would start with a bigger bankroll. If you don't, then just work harder and start with a lower bankroll. How much time and number of bets? Oh, number of bets. Let's say about 7,000 bets, something like that. And how much time? Fuck. It's impossible to tell. Peak time when I was really hammering it and getting in like 250 trades a week on recommended leagues, I was probably spending 15 hours a week, I'd say. Something like that. Like maybe 1 hour every day during the day, cumulative. And then on the weekends, yeah, a bit more. That sounds about right. 10, 15 hours, something like that. But nowadays, I'm probably only spending like five hours a week on Trademate, just placing bets. Yeah, no, I guess the question Donnie's asking this question. So Mark says we cannot see, or you can't see the right side of the screen. Oh, that's weird. I mean, I'll give you a quick flash. I've got to go anyway. I want to go watch Arsenal, but there you go. You can see. And then go back, Mark, if you want to, go back and see the start of the video, and that will show exactly how many, like I went through all my results at the start of the video. So go and check that out. All right, guys, I'm going to go because I want to go watch Arsenal. So have a good one. And yeah, let me know if you want me to cover something different next time.